PUBG is suing Epic Games for copyright infringement because of their game Fortnite in the Korea market, which is certainly laughable when you consider that there are many other games that are more PUBG clones than Fortnite that they are not currently suing. While I can sympathize with the developers of PUBG when it comes to mobile games, as prior to the official PUBG mobile game, there were tons of actual ripoffs like Rules of Survival and Knives Out, but it feels very petty and jealousy fueled when it comes to Fortnite that is very different than PUBG. Even though the lawsuit was filed way back in January when Fortnite was much closer to PUBG than it is now, in the court of public opinion, it comes off as PUBG being bitter about how it lost its market share to a game which doesn't share a lot in common with it because, unlike PUBG, who has been hiring lawyers, Fortnite has been hiring art directors, network analysts, and developers to actually, make their game better. The best way to crush competition isn't in court, it's by making your game so much better that they don't want to play the shittier ripoff version. Let's take a look at some of those aforementioned PUBG clones that are not being sued for copyright. Oh shit, I missed the room.
Yes, boy.
What's he got?
Boy, just got a G28, mate.
Nice. Yeah, because this game is... Oh god, I did it again! I want to see Rip twice in the chat. This game is in Thailand only, so... Fuck! I did it again! This is tragic levels of fail right here. First of which is Ring of Elysium, which is not actually available to play in the West right now. It's only available in Thailand and Indonesia, unless you go through various PvP bops, which I'll post an article on how to play it down in the description. This game will eventually come to the West in the form of Europa, of which there was a trailer for way back in November, which features some shit like destructible environments a la Battlefield games that aren't in this current alpha build. This game is made by Tencent, Chinese developers who actually own 5% of PUBG Corp and has the rights to distribute PUBG in the China market, but they're making their own version of a battle royale game here that's essentially a PUBG clone, but better in several subtle ways. It has an eerily similar aesthetic of an abandoned military island, but the color palette isn't as dreary and drab as a nursing home, and the graphics look much more flashy than the reused asset-littered landscape that is PUBG. It also runs a lot better performance-wise and feels smoother in spite of the fact that since this game only has Southeast Asia servers, you'll probably have 200 plus MS ping, which you can only really tell when you're driving. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you could drive through that. Fucking shit.
Oh my god, Ryan.
I'm sorry, dude. The ping is... You guys don't understand how bad the lag when you're driving is really bad. You don't really notice it during the gunfights, but during driving, it's very bad.
Oh, you might
please,
make it.
5, 4, 3, 2... Woo! 2 HP in a dream!
Oh!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no! The loot is almost exactly the same too. It has helmets, vests, and backpacks, each of which have 3 levels apiece. Where have I heard that before? It has modern military style weapons, although there are some differences from PUBG, where there's certain Chinese guns that are swapped in instead of the American or European ones. And there is also the same attachment sets and ammo types, like for example an M4A1 that is identical to the PUBG M416 in terms of attachments, ammo, and gun model. One of the improvements on PUBG is the fact that you could equip 2 scopes to your weapons and toggle between them, for example like a red dot sight and a 4x scope on your assault rifle, so that this way you don't have to go into the inventory and right click, along with attachment retention. So if you drop one weapon for another, all of the applicable attachments will transfer over automatically, or they're in your inventory if they're not applicable, which the menu is identical to PUBG. There's dynamic weather and a day and night map setting that occurs over the course of the match, and right now the player count is 60 instead of 100, but I'm sure that's just because the game is in early alpha testing and there aren't that many players in order to get into a lobby, along with other subtle differences like not having boosters to heal you up to 100% because the bandages in the medkit already do that. Even with only Southeast Asia servers, this game feels and plays much better than PUBG does right now, and I'd rather play it than the original. This game is much more clear of a PUBG clone or infringing on the copyright than Fortnite ever does. Why not sue them? Is it because Tencent owns part of PUBG Corp and has the Chinese distribution rights? I mean, the fact that Epic Games owns the Unreal engine which PUBG has licensed in order to make their game. Doesn't seem to bother them for the lawsuit, so it seems that they aren't afraid to burn bridges like that. Unlike PUBG, this game is free, and it does everything that PUBG does, but better. I see this game as more of a potential threat because it will replace the exact experience that PUBG offers with a more tactical, realistic, modern military approach to a battle royale game that the cartoony, arcadey, building-centric Fortnite doesn't offer the current PUBG player. Wouldn't it then make more sense to stop this game via a lawsuit?
Sounds like a train.
What the fuck? Did you see that car just go flying past us? Next up is a new game that just released earlier this week called Totally Accurate Battlegrounds, and it will be free for the first 100 hours after its release, so be sure to get it right meow, otherwise it's going to be $5 in another day or two. It's made by the same people as Stick Fight and Totally Accurate Battle Simulator, which are fun little games for the PC, but Totally Accurate Battlegrounds is a parody or satire of the Battle Royale genre as a whole. Even though on the surface it seems to have very little in common with PUBG, since you're essentially a wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man getting dropped into a whimsical looking map that looks like something your grandma would crochet for you, there's tons of similarities once you peer a little closer. It has a very similar inventory menu, helmets and vests with different levels, of which one of the helmets is a dead fucking ringer for the PUBG level 3 helmet, even though there are those silly parody things like level 5 pickle armor.
Get that pickle armor off that guy.
Oh yes, pickle armor, son! The guns are mostly similar to that in PUBG, especially when it comes to ammo. You have the red 9mm boxes, the green 5.56 boxes, the blue 45 ACP boxes, the yellow 7.62 boxes. It has attachments that you can pick up off the ground and put on your different weapons, but it does have a ton more variety in terms of weapons and grenades and attachments, as you could dual-wield guns, you could throw melee weapons like swords and knives similar to that in Stick Fight, but just be careful where you're swinging those things.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes! No! No! God damn it, Coots!
We lose these.
Fucking hell,
Oh, damn it!
What did Brian do? Oh, dudes.
He just
Coots
fucking
got too
killed-
close! He got way too close!
I was behind, bro.
And it's got this funny gangster button where you cock the gun horizontally instead of vertically, which makes for some funny animations when it's not a pistol that you're holding.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Can I please pick up this fucking
It just looks like you're holding a car door now instead of a shield. This game also has a weird circle mechanic where it essentially has walls like an Orange Cheeto Jesus Wet Dream that actually keep people from moving to the next playable space, but sometimes it results in very anticlimactic shit like this.
Oh shit! Wait, what? No, it's not north. No,
No, it's right
Are you
here.
trapped outside? Are you
northwest.
trapped outside the fucking circle?
Door locked. God damn it,
Why did you lock
dude.
the door, man.
Well, that was fucking anticlimactic, wasn't it? Combined with the fact that there's nothing on the HUD and very little detail on the map, there are a lot of times you just end up losing when you don't even realize that you're about to take the L. It's totally accurate, too, on the server woes and the weird issues that games like PUBG had during its early access with not being able to find matches, getting into lobbies by myself, and not bringing the whole team with you, which especially still define the PUBG experience on the Xbox One. It's the only place... Server disconnect out of nowhere! This is pretty much like, you know, PUBG used to be. They got the totally accurate part, right?
Totally.
Look, I've been through enough of this jank period on these games to not even want to bother going through this type of situation anymore with all these fucking BR games that are now littering the market with their countless bugs, lack of quality of life features, awful performance, and shitty fucking servers. I'm certainly not doing it again with a game that's supposed to be a parody of the very genre it's trying to mock as sort of a real meta joke within all of this. Are these server issues actually part of the parody, or are they real issues? I don't want to play as a solo player in the same server as 4-man teams just so that I can knock down the same fucking guy 3 times in a row and then die to one of his teammates. What? There's a whole group of them? Really? In my opinion, PUBG should sue this game because of so many obvious things that were copied from it to make this parody game, but does that then fall under fair usage laws in respect to copyright? I feel like I'm talking about fucking YouTube here all over again. PUBG, here's some advice to you. You want to get rid of all these shitty Battle Royale clones? Hire more developers, not lawyers. Make your game fucking better. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so take it as a compliment that people are trying to leech off of the phenomenon that you created last year. Instead of trying to block games from being made, make your game so much better than all of the other clones around you that people aren't going to want to play the shitty ripoff and will actually shell out the $30 for the real deal. And for those shitty PUBG clones that are on the horizon, no, I will not put up with your early access bullshit again, as I've already done it for over a year already and don't need to go through that nonsense a second or third or fourth or fifth time. If you're going to make a Battle Royale game, make it better than what's already out on the market instead of this race to the bottom bullshit that we're experiencing right now. Hell, I haven't even gotten to play Realm Royale or Fractured Lands or Isles of Nine yet, and those games are just coming out now too. They better not be in the lackluster state of totally accurate Battlegrounds, even if that game is a parody of the genre, because I'm certainly not going to be in on the joke anymore. I've been the Swans27, making like Tigger and bouncing. Until next time. Alright, I'm gonna get out right. Oh, Jesus Christ! I got shot put into the fucking tree, man! Oh my god, dude!